Okay, so welcome to Bristol, and this up here is Eccles. So when I ask you what you think of Eccles, I wonder what you say. You probably know that Eccles has the highest number and proportion of people aged 75 and over out of all the wards in Salford. This is where most of them hang out, somewhere that makes Broadmead seem salubrious. Another Eccles fact for you is that in 1830, the first railway fatality took place in Eccles. Someone was run over by George Stephenson's rocket. He may or may not have been fed Eccles cakes on his deathbed, because this is what Eccles is most famous for. And today I've got some Eccles cakes, and I don't know who this fella is, but I just wonder... So please take one and pass them on. So, I should explain that I'm not from Eccles, nor am I a baker. What I am is a writer, and I had the idea some time ago for this book, which, in case you can't see, has the snappy title of Eccles Cakes and Other Food Named After English Towns. This is another food named after an English town. It's a Bakewell tart, and it's up here, made into a miniature hat on this lady's head. I could also go to Melton Mowbray for some pies or cheddar to sample some cheese, but I like Eccles cakes, so I tend to go to Royce Rolls in St Nicholas Market. These are made by Herbert's Bakery in Montpellier. This is Ivor Ward. He's a baker from Eccles. In fact, he's the only baker in Eccles that still makes Eccles cakes, would you believe? So we're in the strange situation that there are more bakers in Bristol that make Eccles cakes than there are bakers in Eccles. This is one of the reasons, and I've called them the Eccles Cake Behemoth. They're the real Lancashire Eccles Cake Company, and they make tens of thousands of Eccles cakes every day. This is a dry cleaners. You may wonder why, but almost 250 years ago, it was where baker James Birch first started selling Eccles cakes on a commercial basis. This is a basement of that very shop. A lovely lady called Janice let me into this basement. So I travelled 250 miles to visit Eccles in order to eat my favourite cakes. So when Janice pulled open the trapdoor, it was like when Lucy pulled open the coats in the wardrobe to reveal Narnia. This is a mural in Eccles. And this shows the Eccles Wakes, which was a religious festival in the town that Oliver Cromwell banned when it became synonymous with drunkenness and debauchery. Eccles cakes used to be sold at this festival. This is unfortunately the only real sign of Eccles cakes and its association with the town. This is Eccles Station, and I've got another Eccles cake fact for you, which is that Eccles cakes were once sold on station platforms, but in order to preserve them, they were laced with brandy, once causing a driver to fall off his footplates, so they were banned. Liquor's no longer used, but currants are. These are what the real Lancashire Eccles Cake Company use. They're called Vostissa currants, and they can only be made from grapes in a particular part of southern Greece. This is Hart's Bakery in Cotton, where the second row, hopefully, have now sampled Laura Hart's wonderful Eccles cakes. And apologies to Mark for Mark's Bread, which I know is just down the road, but this is definitely my favourite artisan baker in Bristol. Apologies. This is Laura making her Eccles cakes like her mother and grandmother taught her before. So she's just folding over the pastry, over the pastry, the currants surrounded by pastry. And now she's scoring them 3 times, and she doesn't really know why she does this. It's just one of those things, one of those fantastic things associated with Eccles cakes. So they're in the oven for about 25 minutes, then they can come out. And if you don't remember a single other fact about tonight, just remember that Eccles cakes are delicious. And I want to thank Ali for the slides, and thank you very much indeed.